Not? Yishmer Shabbat Yishmereini Yishmer Shabbat Yishmereini Oti leomeyad beno beni Oti leomeyad beno Yishmer Shabbat Yishmereini Ki Yishmer Shabbat Yishmereini Oti leomeyad beno beni Oti leomeyad beno Yafe hayom Shabbat Shalom Ma yafe hayom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Ma yafe hayom Shabbat Shalom Ma yafe hayom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom La 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 la, la la la. Shabbat, Shabbat, there you are. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We continue with our service on page 6 in our prayer books, page 6. As we welcome angels tonight. I mean, it feels like when I'm singing this song, I'm welcoming you. You're the angels that are descending upon us, coming together. Each of you is like an angel. You may not look at yourselves as an angel, but I see in each of you a little bit of that divine spark, which is quite angelic. So just accept the compliment. But the angels also that we're talking about are these spiritual angels that come and descend upon us. They bring us our second soul, our neshama yetera, our additional soul that we get to enjoy Shabbat with on Friday nights. And it brings us that extra joy of Shabbat. So we are on page 6. And we're going to sing Shalom Aleichem to this tune by Nava Tehillah, the Israeli group. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Ashareh, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem leShalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni, Barchuni Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Leshalom, Seitchem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, ay, lay, 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 ay. Lay, 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 lay. Lay, 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 ay. Lay, 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 lay. Ay, ay. Yay, lay, lay, ay, lay. Yay, lay, lay, lay. Yay, ay, ay, ay. HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
You know, Cantor, I was at an Indian wedding this weekend.
Oh wow, that's
And I learned it was quite an experience.
Was it an elephant wedding?
Horse.
Horse. Wow.
Horse. No elephants in Santa Barbara. And what I learned is that when, and this was from that ceremony, when someone in a relationship, whether it is a married relationship or a working one, wants to appeal to their partner's better side, they come from their left side.
Ah.
They approach from what they call the heart side.
Oh, okay.
So thank you for moving over here with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad to be to your left.
I was well aware of that custom, and I practiced it tonight in anticipation of your arrival.
Wonderful. But in the Jewish tradition,
Yeah,
to be on someone's right is considered to be a great honor.
that's right, because left is
Not good.
evil.
So we are giving each other honor tonight.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful. And you're all here too. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're so happy you're here for this beautiful Shabbat outside in our beautiful Yeti Plaza. So happy to have you here. Whether you are here for the first time or the 5,000th time, I'm Rabbi Daniel Brenner. This is Cantor Mark Childs, and Rabbi Maddie Anderson has the night off. And we are excited to be praying with you and singing with you this evening out in this beautiful space.
Beautiful, beautiful. And also Daniel Heitner in the back, and Howard. Daniel, I just got a notice that Facebook is not enabled. All right. That's totally irrelevant for you guys, unless you're also on your phone at the same time.
I want to give a special welcome to anyone who might be in town for Dagny Boxer's Bat Mitzvah. Dagny is going to lead our candle lighting when we go into the social hall for Oneg later. But thank you for coming and celebrating with her and her family this week. And for all of us, we're going to start our Kabbalat Shabbat, our receiving of Shabbat. That is what Kabbalah literally means, is the receiving of Shabbat. And we do that through song. By singing and reading, poetry, we elevate our souls to a place where we feel more spiritually ready to take on Shabbat. And so we'll start to that on page 9, at the bottom, singing Lechu Neranena.
Lechu neranena, neranena l'Adonai, naria, naria, letzoyishenu. Lechu, lechu, neranena, neranena l'Adonai, naria, naria, Letzu Yishe. That's good. Let's do it again. Lechu, lechu, neranena, neranena, ladonai, naria, naria, letzu Yishe. Second part. Lekamafana vetoda izmirot naria lo. Nekamafana vetoda izmirot naria lo. Lechu, lechu, neranena, neranena, ladonai, naria, naria, letzu Yishe. Lechu, lechu, neranena, neranena, ladonai, naria, naria, letzu Yishe. Nekar mafanav, vetoda izmirot naria lo. Nekar mafanav, vetoda izmirot naria lo. Lechu, lechu, neranena, neranena, ladon, naria, naria, letzu Yishe. Keep it going. Lechu, lechu, neranena, neranena, ladon, naria, naria, letzu Yishe.
On the bottom of page 10.
God's earth alive with joy, islands laughing, swirling clouds and mist, the throne of justice and fire walking before. A lightning bolt flashed like the sun in the night. The land saw and trembled. The mountains melted like wax. People looked to the sky, and they saw a heavenly world of color and light. Zion heard, and she laughed. The daughters of Judah, they danced. God lovers hate evil. Light is a seed planted for the righteous. One day soon they will harvest in joy.
Bottom of page 11.
Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. La la ya la ya 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 da 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 ya la 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 ya la la da 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
Continue on page 12.
A David song. God's voice upon the waters, the God of glory thunders. God's voice uproots the cedars, splits open the cedars of Lebanon. Mount Lebanon and Hermon, they leap like a calf and dance. God's voice in flames of fire shatters the wilderness silence. Thunder rolls in the Kadesh desert. Beneath the storm, gazelles give birth. God strips the forest bare. In the celestial temple, the burning stars sing glory. God sat above the flood and will dwell on high forever. Give strength unto your people and bless your people with peace.
Ana bechoa, Gerula yemincha, Tatir tzerura, Kabel rinat amecha sagveinu. Tarenu nora, Ana bechoa gedulat yemincha tatir tzerura, Kabel rinat amecha sagavenu tarenu nora. Shabbatenu kabel u'shema tzakatenu yodea Girulat yemincha tatir tzerura, Kabel rinat amcha sagenu Tarenu nora.
Page 14, L'chadodi.
L'chadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela l'chadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela shamo vezaho bediborecha ishmianu el hamyuchar Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem multiferet zelitila l'chadodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha ki mekor hameracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela התעוררי כי באורך
reason we face our entrance.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני אבם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, עולה לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקח, חתולי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
As we continue singing La La La, we also turn to those around us, wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 18.
Sorry.
להמליך מלכותי
בחייכון וביומכון ובחייתכו בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב
ואמרו
אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשה בריחו
לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן
בעלמא ואמרו
Amen. Page 20, you're all facing east, but now we will.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך
Please be seated. We'll continue on page 22.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מלך העולם אשר יברוך מריב ערבים אשר יברוך מריב ערבים בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו בורא יום ולילה כולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור ומעביר יום מביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות צבאות שמו חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים.
Continue on page 25.
The Torah was first given from mother to child, and then again by a man to his friend. Love and language come into the world together. Now comes our turn to reveal Torah. Late at night and in the first hours of the morning, we will wonder and argue and celebrate your teachings.
For they are alive. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Our bat mitzvah Dagny will lead us in Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושבנתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקמך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי תהייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר תצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
And now on page 30.
In each of our lives, we come at last to a limit where we are forced to stop running and cry out to God. How many times have you saved us and pulled us from the midst of danger? We lose count of your miracles.
Our lungs fill with life breath, our feet break the air.
We saw your power revealed at the shore of the sea. There we danced and sang a new song to you.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo osefele, nora tehilo osefele, yamba yarimba yabba bimba yabba bimba yabba bimba ai la 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 yabba bimba ai la 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 yabba מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע היה לפני משה זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני לו לעולם ויבא בim bim ba ya ba bam bim ba ya ba bim ba ya ba bam bim ba ai dai la 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 ya ba bam bim ba ai la la ya ba נאמר כי בדד אדוני את יעקב גואלו מהחזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 32.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם.
Give us a night of peace, God, and bring us life in the morning. Spread over us your quiet tent. Take our hand, lead us safe through this night. Be above us, drive away sickness, sword, and sign. Go before us, watch behind us. Let the spreading darkness be the shadow of your wings. Tonight our souls fly far. In our dreams we leave this place. Guide us home at dawn. Bring us life and make us whole. You are blessed, God, who watches over the people of Israel and over Jerusalem.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו
Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom,
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו
Eloheinu leshalom,
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. Beautiful.
I had a ringer. Derek was singing really loud in the front.
All right,
Page 34.
next time we're gonna have a ringer on my side too. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת, שבת, וינפש.
Our Kabbalat Shabbat brought us collectively into a spiritual level of prayer, and we've gone through our evening service together, aloud. We'll now take this next section, the Amidah, the pinnacle of our prayer, silently and for ourselves. We rise on page 36.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום. Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ve'akol Yisrael amen.
Turn to the Misha Berach on the bottom of page 50. While we're here together enjoying our Shabbat and praying and singing, we're also thinking of those in our lives in need of healing and strength. This week we're praying for all of that, for Judy Bernstein, for Robert Morris Jr., Nancy Glassman, Ed George, Ruth Bar Shalom, Judy Goldwater, Jeff Schumann, Mike Wolf, Stella Kovacs, Kate Smith, Steve Siegel, Nava Brenner, Elaine Goodman, Vanessa Massel, Zev Nathan, Bob Keats, Brandy Mussman, Moshe Halevi Ben Bela, Barbara Williams, and Misha Zilberman. I'd like to invite you to add your own names. People in your
Nancy
lives in
Mann,
need of healing.
Arthur Cirque, Barbara Goldstein, Jim Goldstein, John Gordino, Lenny Mangino, Melinda Neely, Jill Prouty, and Donnie Hammock.
Misha Berach.
Misheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say amen.
Let's just do a quick check-in on where we are in Torah time. So this week's Torah portion is a unique one of a few throughout the year, that when we are in a non-leap year, meaning there's not an extra month before Purim. You ever notice how sometimes Purim's at the beginning of March and sometimes Purim's at the end of March? There's why. That's the reason why. Anytime it's not that, we have to combine a few Torah portions onto the same week in order to fit it all into a year. And so this week, the Parsha is Matot Maseh. In a leap year, it's Matot one week and Maseh another. And in this Torah portion, we are coming to the very last moments before Israel crosses Israelites cross into Israel. Some commentators say the entirety of the book of Deuteronomy takes place on one day. Others say over the course of 1 month. But we know we're at the end of a 40-year journey. And one of the very last stories that comes up in this week's Parsha makes the first 39 years and 11 months feel like it wasn't worth anything. And I'll tell you what I mean. So in this week's Torah portion, Moses and all of the elders are gathered together when two tribes, the leaders of two tribes, of Reuben and of Gad, come before Moses and say, Moses, we have a proposition for you. You see, we are tribes of many cattle. We have a lot of herds, and we kind of like it over here on the eastern side of the Jordan. There's a lot of space. We've wiped out all of the enemies. They have towns to be filled. We could really have a good life over here. And Moses entertains this idea, right? Moses says, okay, let's just say for a second we left you here, right? We let you have this side of the Jordan as your inheritance. Then what? You're just going to let the rest of the tribes go into the land of Israel and fight all the wars while you get to relax over here on this side? Is that what you get out of this? And so Reuben and Gad say, no. We will make you a deal. You put our troops on the front line of the war, right? We will be the translation isn't really great, but we'll be the shock troops. We'll be the ones who go in and do all the hard fighting. And then when we help you liberate the land of Israel, we'll go back to our side of the river and we'll have a great life here. And Moses finds this to be acceptable. And at the very end of the story, the verse says that Moses told the tribes of Gad and of Reuben and the half tribe of Manasseh, and we'll get to that in a minute, you will stay on this side, you will serve as the shock troops coming in, and then you'll get to go back. And if not, all of your holdings will be cursed forever, and you will no longer be able to survive on this side of the river. And that's the end. And then the Torah just moves on. Okay, next story, right? 40 years of wandering in the desert, and then I guess that's it, right? We got this close, and then at the very last minute, two tribes just say, nah, we're cutting and running. We like it here more. And we hear this bargain that takes place, and by all accounts, we should say, in the Tanakh, all accounts in the book of Judges and Joshua and the book of Samuel and Kings, Reuben and Gad hold to their agreements. They do serve as the shock troops, and they do lead the armies, right? And they're good fighters. They have to be to live in the desert. But there's something that still doesn't sit right with me about it. And I'm looking over at Claire, and it doesn't sit right with the Lord Jonathan Sacks either. If you ever come to Torah study, you know that when Claire raises her hands, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks is about to be quoted. Many Torah commentators, including Rabbi Sacks, say we should not try to understand this story from a political perspective, from a strategic perspective, that these two tribes saw good land, knew they had herds, and that they wanted to try to fit in where they were, and this is just going to be better for everybody if we stay on this side. But that instead, we should read this story as an emotional reaction, as an emotional decision. So the Torah commentators like to point out that Reuben is the firstborn tribe. He is the eldest. And Gad is the firstborn of Zilpah, which is the handmaiden that Leah gives to Jacob when she no longer is giving more children. So these are two firstborn sons who have come before Moses. And as we have learned from many parts of our story, firstborn comes with certain airs of importance, certain expectations of their station. But when they realized that as the Israelites were going to go into the land and have the land portioned out, their birth standing was going to have no play in where they ended up. That their self-assumed importance would be diminished in this act. That was their realization. It would mean they wouldn't have better land holdings or larger land holdings. And even worse than that, it seems that Judah, who was a third-born, God forbid, he was the leader. If they weren't going to be elevated amongst their brothers or amongst the tribes, they were going to abandon the whole thing. If they weren't being heard, they were out. Now, I've been Reuben and Gad before. I think we all have. I think we can all think of a situation in our lives where something wasn't quite going our way, or we weren't quite getting what we were wanting out of it. And instead of just seeing it through to the end because we were part of a team, we just quit. We just abandoned whatever the project was. And maybe it was the right decision. Because more than likely, the only person who was affected by those consequences was you. And in acts of self-preservation and mental health, we do those things. We don't subject ourselves to the situations that are harmful to us. But it's different for the Israelites. Because the Israelites, they were a people. They were a family. Where everyone was working together toward the same purpose. Everyone had the same traumas, the same blessings, the same promises for the future. What consequences could be felt by two tribes suddenly saying, you know what, we're out? Well, in the book of Chronicles, which is a much later book that tells the history of the Israelites in the land of Israel, it says that when the Assyrians came in 722, and when they wiped out the 10 northern tribes of Israel, the first tribes to go were the tribes of Gad and Reuben, because they were on the periphery and they were conquered first. That was a consequence of this decision. And we should bring back into this conversation now Manasseh, the half tribe of Manasseh, who is named to also live on the other side of the river. Why? Nowhere in the entire Torah story does Manasseh come and say, we'd like some too. Nowhere does Manasseh get named as someone who might also benefit with lots of herds. So it almost seems that Manasseh is put on the other side of the river to keep tabs on the other two. That's why they only left half the tribe there. Half of the tribe is on this side, half of the tribe is on that side. This side communicates to this side about what's happening with those two, and then everyone else knows Gad and Reuben are playing the right by the rules. But then what does that do to Manasseh? It splits the tribe in half, solely for the purpose of trying to keep connected the group that no longer had interest in being connected. One of the most quoted rabbis in Pirkei Avot, The Wisdom of Our Fathers. This is a book written or published in the 2nd century CE, but it's a collection of learnings and teachings over the course of a couple of centuries. One of the most quoted rabbis is Rabbi Hillel. Most of our Jewish practice goes by what Rabbi Hillel teaches in the Mishnah and in Pirkei Avot. And in the book, he makes a statement that I read as a commentary to this story that I've just told you. He says in it, Al tifros min hatzibur. Do not separate yourself from the community. Rabbi Hillel lived in one of the most separated eras in Jewish history, just before the fall of the Second Temple. He lived from about, we think, we don't know, there's no carbon dating for him, 70 BCE to 10 CE. He gets a nice square 80 because he's a wise sage. Hillel witnessed the division between the priestly class, the rabbis, the general population of the Israelites. He saw how their hatred of each other was going to tear apart the Israelites. It would cause a slow dissolution of the Jewish people. He watched as this small group of ascetics, left completely, abandoned Jerusalem, and went and lived in the hills. Today, all we have left from those people are what they wrote, the Dead Sea Scrolls. He witnessed the Zealots who plotted to attack the Romans, putting the entire Israelite community at risk for their own needs. Al tifros min hatzibur was not a catchy phrase for Hillel. It was a prayer for unity and reconnection. A recent op-ed in the New York Times that I read this week, authored by Ezra Klein, was titled, "Why American Jews No Longer Understand Each Other." And it trumpeted some of the same concerns of Moses and of Hillel. What happens when a group of Jews, feeling unheard or unheralded, decides to just call it quits? No longer engage in community or in Judaism. What will be lost by their departure? And who is the Menashe? Who are the people who get lost, trying to keep them from being lost? Al tifros min hatzibur is an act of empathy and tzimtzum, a reduction of ourselves, a withdrawal into ourselves for the sake of making space for others. Who are the Gads and the Reubens today in modern Jewish life? Who are the Menashe today? Who are the people on the periphery who we need to remember to listen to? And what actions are we going to take in the coming week, in the coming month and year? What will we do to keep ourselves, our small Santa Barbara Jewish community, I'm bringing it right down to here. What are we going to do to keep ourselves from pulling apart? On this Shabbat, right before Tisha B'Av, I guess that's not true. There's one more Shabbat before Tisha B'Av. On the Shabbat before the week of Tisha B'Av, the holiday where we commemorate the destruction of the temple, where we remember the stories of how baseless hatred of Jew against Jew led to the destruction of religion as we knew it. Hopefully we can all find something to draw ourselves nearer to each other. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue with Aleinu on page 120, and I'll invite you to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
You may be seated. This palace, blue curtain of sky, rock foundation of earth, conceals and reveals the presence of God. All is God, there is nothing else, as it is written. Make yourself aware, awaken your heart to this. God fills the heaven and earth, there is nothing else.
You are hope for a better world in which the false gods that divide us will disappear, and the human family will abandon our old hatreds and fears. Letaken olam, to heal this fractured world, we need vision and hope. We still hold fast to the ancient prophecy. A time will come of a world at peace. On that day there shall be one God, in the name of God. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד Ushmo, Ushmo, Ushmo Echad.
We turn to our Mourner's Kaddish on page 122. And as I read our names for Kaddish this evening, I ask you to please rise if I read your loved one's name aloud. We're in the period of Shiva, the first week after the passing of Sherry Alexander, wife of Alan, mother of Derek, and of Adele Rosen. In the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days after the passing of Arlene Kamelman and Bernice Wider. We're in the first 11 months of saying Kaddish for Janice Hartock-Taylor, Kate Morris, Naomi Bolag, Ira Epstein, Beverly Abrams, Rochelle Geiger, Andy Saffer, Arthur Camlett, Carolyn Sweet, Esther Rosenbaum, Margaret Arbuckle, Rabbi Alvin Sugarman, Arthur Magat, Helga Carden, Susie Kurtz, Rita Lippman, Reva McClernand, Erwin Bendet, Mort Rudin, Ruth Burt, Marlene Shan, Jerry Saraboff, Ember Sandoval, Sylvia Gross, Gail Rosenberg, and Bob Brown. And this Shabbat marks yard sites for Albert Analik, Tom Bates, Sarah Baum, Seymour Bluestein, Howard Brown, Morton Cohen, Gina Engler, Ron Feldman, William Feinberg, Samuel Fliegler, Evelyn Freed, Thomas Freeman, Claire Goldstein, Jim Gunther, Ernest Hofbauer, Shirley Idels, Ruth Kaplan, William Katz, Lotta Lennart, Benjamin Lipson, Yaakov Livshin, Michael Henry Marcus, Robert Marshall, Ben Middleman, Patricia Evelyn Rogers, Irv Rosen, William Saxon Jr., Harold Schoen, and Harold Wilson. If you have a name that you'd like to add to Kaddish or a name I mispronounced, please rise, share that name with our community. Please follow your own custom now to rise or to remain seated as we join in the words of Kaddish together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol shvei tevel v'imru amen. Please be seated. Everyone except Dagny Boxer and Elise Block. Dagny, will you please come up so that Elise might present you with a couple of gifts on behalf of our community?
Hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Not yet.
No. I brushed my teeth for once. It has been a true pleasure teaching Dagny. I first encountered Dagny when she was a third grader, and she's heard the story. And we had services on Sunday mornings down in the tree circle, which is down below here. And here was this little redheaded kid, and Rabbi Cohen would ask these pretty deep questions. And she always raised her hand, and he always called on her. And it was always so amazing to hear what this little thing had to say. And she has remained a very bright and wonderful human being. And so it was really a pleasure to be her teacher and to get to know her dad and grandma, a lot better, and a little bit your mom. And I was going to say something funny, but it's not coming. Thank you. um, Again, it's my pleasure to be able to give you, excuse me, these gifts.
Do I go behind here?
Yeah, you don't have to. I'll move them up. So first of all, and I hope you use them, and also, yeah, and also, I hope that you learned from tonight's service that being an outsider is not a good thing in Judaism, and so I hope that you will continue your studies on Wednesday nights. Annabelle, yeah. So these candlesticks, we hope that you will use them every week to light Shabbat candles and on holidays as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're not from me, they're from the congregation.
Right. Thank you.
I actually, yeah. Anyway, and this beautiful Kiddush cup. You can have wine in here if you want.
Chardonnay, right?
Chardonnay. I like white.
I like Chardonnay.
Okay. Yeah. And we hope that you'll use this again on holidays. Cantor, you do this, or Rabbi?
I get to do this.
You get to do this one. So it's really been an honor, and it's been a lot of fun, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And the best thing was last week I got to take her shopping for her bat mitzvah dress. Her father returned it. She found something on Amazon that she liked better, but it was a cute dress, and it was great because I had a boy, boring to shop for, and jeans, t-shirts, sweatpants. Yeah,
I'm a boy.
I don't shop for you, but if you want me to, I have good taste.
We'll go shopping.
Okay, sounds good. But shopping for a girl is much more fun.
It is.
You have two little girls. You
I
know
do.
that.
It's a blast. Thank you, Elise. And we should say that all of those get to go into this most important gift, the sacred tote bag.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow morning, 10:30, for your bat mitzvah Torah service in the morning. And we'll also see you inside for Kiddush in 5 minutes. Okay. I'd now like to invite up Emily Premack, member of our Board of Trustees, to offer some announcements. Max can come too.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Cantor. Oh, and Ezra. Okay, we got the whole fam. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Premack. This is my family, Maxine, Ezra. My family, my nuclear family is back there somewhere. Raise your hands. There we go. Say hi to them at ONEG because they're new. Okay, I'm so happy to be here tonight. My husband also is in the back. We moved to Santa Barbara in 2021. We actually followed my parents because they were the child care. So that worked out really great for all of us because we fell in love with Santa Barbara and we fell in love with CBB. Our son just started at BHY, and our daughter, Maxine, a proud BHY graduate, will begin at Tivut this fall. So by day, I work in the Jewish nonprofit sector with HIAS, the refugee agency. And this year, I was honored to join the CBB board focusing on youth education, something I care deeply about both personally and professionally. I look forward to meeting many of you at ONEG after this, following services sponsored by the Boxer family in honor of Dagny's bat mitzvah. Okay. Yay. Okay, so a few highlights for this week coming up. Join us this Saturday at 6:30 at La Mesa Park for our next community Havdalah. Please bring a dessert to share.
An excuse to eat McConnell's ice cream. BHY is having a fundraiser this Sunday. 10% will go back to the school, but you have to be careful because it's only at McConnell's, not at the one on De La Vina. So only McConnell's on State Street, and make sure you mention BHY and they'll give us 10% back. Don't forget to sign up for the MOB, which I figured out is the Men of B'nai Brit. Thank you so much, learning new acronyms here. That summer barbecue on July 31st at 5 p.m. I know my husband and my father will be there, so great opportunity to meet. On July 31st is our artist meetup. Please join us if you have an interest in the visual arts and want to meet other art lovers in our CBB community. And you can RSVP for a time that works. There's a couple slots there. August is Pride Month at CBB, so there's lots of events to join, and you can check the calendar and the bulletin for more details. Finally, the save the date for a CBB community campout at Lake Kachuma on September 6th and 7th, and you need to RSVP by August 15th. You can always check the calendar for more events, and please check the bulletin and website for further programming. Shabbat Shalom.
Very nice, thank you, and thank you for bringing up your family. One thing that didn't make it onto the announcements because we solidified it after the announcements were written is that a week from tomorrow is Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, as I mentioned in my Dvar Torah, is our commemoration of the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem. It's a traditional evening of gathering to a mournful tone, and this year we are going to be doing a film screening of a movie that 4 years ago won 4 of Israel's version of the Oscar. It's a film called Legend of Destruction, and using 1,500 still original paintings, it narrates the story, the full story of the revolt against the Romans and the destruction of the temple. That's at 6:30, and then at 8 o'clock, for anyone who would like to either come just for this or to stay, 8 o'clock we'll have the traditional chanting of Echa, the traditional chanting of Lamentations, and then our turn at the very, very, very end towards our 7 weeks of consolation, meaning our 7-week walk to the high holidays. So that's next weekend. Here. And we're going to sing Adon Olam, and then I'll invite you to put your books back on the cart and make your way in for Kiddush.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Le'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimlok Nora Ve'u Haya Ve'u Hove Ve'u Yeh Ve'tifara Ve'u Yeh Ve'tifara Ve'u Echad Ve'en Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachbira Beli Reshit Beli Taklit Velo Haos Vehamisra Velo Haos Vehamisra Vehu Eli Vechai Goali Vetzor Chevli Vetzara Vehu Nisi Umanos li menat kosi beyom ekra menat kosi beyom ekra beyado afkid ruchi beit ishan beyaira veim ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira Adonai li velo ira. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.